What's up, MVP? Welcome back. Streebo here with you again. This week I went to check out the new film from the Spirit Brothers, Daybreakers. Daybreakers tells us that people will screw up a good thing no matter what it is. Doesn't matter if it's cell phones, turn into a vampire or whatever. I used to think you could turn into a vampire, live a life forever, just feeding off people. No. What happens is you get a planet of vampires. Every jerk off in the street is a vampire, and there are no people. And that's the situation we have. Daybreakers is the story of a world overrun by vampires. The human population has been weeded down to less than 5% of the original population. This vampire world finds itself in the middle of a blood crisis because there are no humans, they have no blood. And out of that we have Ethan Hawke, who works for a blood pharmaceutical company. He is actually a blood doctor is what they call him. I don't know, a hematologist of some kind, the technical terminology for it. And he is trying to find a blood substitute so that, you know, the vampires have something else to sustain their existence on instead of just human blood, because there is no human blood available. Hawke cuts a good character as the sympathetic doctor, you know, who is not happy being a vampire in a world of vampires, and he wants to find a way to change it all. He's searching for this blood substitute, and he winds up getting sucked into the world of the human resistance then, and instead of finding just looking for a blood substitute, he winds up trying to find an actual cure for vampirism itself. So that's your basic plot line. Things I really liked about Daybreakers is the mythology, the way it's set up, the world that's presented to us. I love the slick look of it. I mean, you've got some really cool almost iconic images. Yeah, it reminds us a little bit, you know, obviously of images from The Matrix. But you know, this is a good setup. That's the human blood bank, if you will. You know, the action in it is good. It's slick. It's stylized. In this world, they also have another layer of the mythology where when their vampires go without blood for too long, that they start to become mutated and they lose their mental faculties, and their physical form becomes mutated and grotesque, and they become, I think they call them subdwellers in the actual film itself. And this actual subdwellers is becoming kind of a sub-society in this vampire world where they're running rampant looking for blood and running around just like savages, and a lot of them are running loose in the subways underneath the major cities. The direction in Daybreakers is very good. Spirit Brothers bring to front all of their abilities that they've learned, you know, in their other flick with Undead, which was just a crazy combination of, you know, sci-fi and action and horror. You know, and things are more streamlined here. They're not, you know, trying to hit every genre into one. Direction is good and straightforward. Though stylized at some points. They do a good job telling the story, keeping things moving forward, keeping the movie energetic and exciting. I do like the cinematography of it, though it is, you know, kind of this desaturated look that's afflicted almost every vampire movie since Stephen Norrington's Blade series began. It is a good look. I like that they changed it up a little bit. When you're actually with the human resistance group, they use more of warm colors, and the scenes have more warmth to them, and as in contrast to the desaturated, you know, bluish tint that all the vampire scenes have. The movie features several great performances. Ethan Hawke is good and sympathetic as, you know, this vampire doctor that wants to, you know, to help the world or change the world or whatever. And then also we have Sam Neill as the evil corporate overlord who actually runs the blood pharmaceutical company, and he's Hawke's boss, and he's one, you know, driving him on to you know, to find this blood substitute so that this world can be salvaged or saved or pulled back from the brink of anarchy, if you will. And of course, Willem Dafoe puts on, you know, a rough, tough, gruff performance as the leader of the human resistance movement. You know, it's kind of almost a reincarnation of his sergeant character from Platoon, but he's a lot of fun running around, wielding the crossbow and doing that kind of stuff. So good things all across the board. If you want to talk about Streebo's slasher stats, you know, the movie features liberal amounts of gore. It's a good mix of practical effects with sci-fi. I mean, there's multiple beheadings. Of course, there's lots of crossbow bolt shooting, you know, humans getting hit with darts, lots of neck biting, exploding vampires everywhere. That's part of their mythology. And one part that I'm not too, you know, thrilled about is actually when the vampires got staked. They would just explode like they suddenly swallowed a grenade. They didn't just melt or burn or whatever. They would just blow up. I thought that was a little goofy, but there's an awesome, you know, kind of evisceration and drawn and quartering segment at the end that you know, makes up for any kind of shortcomings in the movie. It was a really, really sweet, really graphic, absolutely gory sequence that was worth the price of admission alone. On the Streebo Screamometer, I'll give Daybreakers about a 6.5 out of 10. I love the presentation of the world. I thought the directing was good. I thought the action was entertaining. But I had problems with the narrative. I felt like there were a lot of things that were built up and seemed to that the movie was going to be moving towards, and then at the end it all just kind of unravels. The focus, there's a lot of things. There seems to be this major conflict being built up between the subdwellers and the vampire society, and it never happens. It kind of fizzles out. Ethan Hawke's character kind of loses direction. He fizzles out at the end. So I thought there was a lot of narrative problems that kind of hurt the movie and brought it down from being what I consider an instant classic. So as it is, definitely check it out. If you like the Blade movies, you'll dig it. If you like the Underworld series, which I don't, you'll probably dig it. You know, if you're sick of, you know, romanticized vampires like on True Blood or Twilight, definitely check it out, because it's a world with, you know, mean, nasty, hard-edged vampires that are becoming feral, ripping everything to pieces. So definitely check it out for that. Good action, decent little jump scares here and there, great splashes of gore throughout, good mix of practical and CGI effects, and there you go, good times for all. So Daybreakers, check it out if you can.